So we are really interested in understanding better human nature. So what does that mean, human nature? I mean, this is such a big topic. So what we're trying to do is to understand the core elements of human nature, which is what makes us unique as an animal. It's cooperation and social interactions. So it's important because we want to actually give advice to society on important questions. So we need to find ways how to analyze human nature in particular situations. So what we're doing is we're trying to introduce methods of behavioral economics to get more rigor into how we can explore social interactions. I can give you some examples if you want. So we're exploring, for example, scientists. And to explore scientists, we have the beauty that we can actually track their career path over time. So we can, for example, analyze what happens if you get a major award. Are you getting more cited, less cited? Are you getting more productive? And how do we do that? Well, we, for example, look at the papers they published before they received an award and compare it to scientists who have the same kind of path, but then didn't get the award. So they are very similar, with the only exception that they didn't get the award. And then we look at whether these pre-award papers are more likely to get cited. That's a way to explore in a very controlled way the relevance of human nature or interactions. In this case, for example, status, which actually emerges out of social interactions. Well, I think it's important to move on the field. I mean, if you see, for example, economics originally had a very simple idea how human works. So I think we need to get the psychology right. We need to get the sociology right, meaning that group behaviors. We need to get the biology right. So what's going on, for example, in your brain. If we have this kind of understanding, we are able then to see that there's some complexity that we need to grasp. Like, for example, a core theory in behavior economics is like system 1, system 2, you know, a fast response and then a more thoughtful response. We say, well, maybe we have 6 systems. Who tells you we only have 2 systems? And if we have maybe 6 systems, we may be able to cope with surprising effects that happen in society. Think about, for example, a pandemic or a disaster or so forth, unexpected events that we are not prepared. And a good understanding of human nature allows us to cope with those important societal events. So I think there are 2 elements that are crucial. I think it needs to be interesting and it needs to be important. So if we bring those 2 elements together, I think you generate value to society. As academics, we are also paid by society to have this idea of knowledge generation and knowledge diffusion. So we need to always have this kind of reality test with, are we doing something good for society or not? And that's always the ultimate goal of especially social scientists.